Greetings and welcome back to part 2 of our Town Square video series featuring Jennifer Ruggiero and Rachel Hendricks. In this video, Jennifer and Rachel will share with us insights and tips on how your parish can start and expand a pro-life ministry and how to encourage and work with youth to help build a culture of life in your community.
Jen, why don't we start with you?
Sure. Well, right before the pandemic, we did a survey throughout our diocese to identify all those local resources as best we could, so that we would have a very thorough listing, not just the pregnancy help centers, but other resources like Catholic Charities, the things that are available through the state and that kind of thing. So what we did was we put together a card, and this is a sample of the card, which lists everything, and it's in English and Spanish. And what we did was we sent these out to all the pastors to put by their confessionals or in the ladies' room, just to have something that someone can pick up and take if they find themselves in need. The other thing we did was we created a poster. Here's the poster. Very similar, includes all the information about our pregnancy resources, but also information about the safe haven law, because we find that that's something that a lot of people don't know about. So just basic information about what that's all about, and that people can give up their infant child without question up to a certain point anonymously. So we felt like, okay, let's just put this information out in the parishes and in the schools. And so that was our first start. And since the pandemic took over, we wanted to make sure that we revisited, now that we're kind of reopening. In the last 6 months or so, we've had 2 new pregnancy help centers open in our area, in our diocese, which has just been so exciting. So we updated our list and sent out new posters, new cards. We've also tried to make a splash when those pregnancy centers opened. We tried to make a big splash of it in our Catholic newspaper, through our newsletters, that kind of thing. Just to make people know that we have two new centers that need to be supported and fundraised for, and to raise awareness. We have one that just opened up in New Brunswick, right on the edge of the Rutgers campus, which is really an ideal spot. So we've done a lot to spread the word about that. We also have another one that opened up in Warren, which is a new area. It's a much more upper scale kind of a community. So it's going to be interesting to see what their clientele is like, but there's certainly a need everywhere for these centers. So again, just trying to get the word out about these new centers and supporting them the best we can.
Right. So here in the Diocese of Trenton, we, similarly to what's happening in Metuchen, we have a list of pregnancy resources that we take a look at and update regularly. We're in the midst of doing that right now. And so they kind of give a variety of resources that are available, from Catholic resources to some Christian centers, pregnancy resource centers, as well as some state agencies that offer assistance to moms in need, and particularly pregnant moms in need. And together with Catholic Charities and all the offerings that they have. Another thing that's been coming up as I've been working with different parishes in trying to build up these resource lists on a local level, is that there's a mindset that we tend to have with pregnant moms in need, and we kind of think of them as like, oh, pregnant mom resources are here and there, and we don't always connect the pregnant mom in need with the general resources that are available for our neighbors in need. So one interesting area that we're pursuing here in the Diocese of Trenton is taking a look to see what structures, what ministries that offer outreach to the poor are already in place in many of our parishes. And we're looking to approach those ministries, such as St. Vincent de Paul. Here in the Diocese of Trenton, we have about half of our parishes have active St. Vincent de Paul ministries, which offer various areas of resources, financial resources and support, and emotional resources, food pantries, things like that, across in our various parishes. So we're introducing this idea of how to walk with moms in need through your existing outreach that already is staffed with volunteers, that you already have meetings and structure. And right now, the response so far, we're piloting in a couple of parishes right now, and the response has been so incredibly positive. The folks in the St. Vincent de Paul ministries that I've worked with are so encouraged to have like a renewed sense of assistance to this particular area of need, which is really these moms are in such need. And whether their need doesn't have to be financial all the time, they could have severe emotional and supportive needs that don't have to do necessarily connected with money. But their needs are so desperate that truly life and death is in the balance. And if they're not supported, often we're looking at the mother unfortunately choosing, or many times feeling like they have no other choice but to turn to abortion. And these folks in these service-oriented ministries like St. Vincent de Paul are very, very interested in this. It seems to be revitalizing their interest in their own ministry. They see it as an opportunity to grow their ministry by opening up kind of the social justice parish ministries together and join them with pro-life ministries, which oftentimes, I don't know why, for many reasons, kind of remain separate. But it's an opportunity for those folks in Respect Life ministry to really get active and elbows in deep to the service area, service aspect of Respect Life ministry, and vice versa. It's really opening doors for those already involved with neighbors in need to the specific area of moms in need. And that's opening doors to a lot of areas of the people in the pews. You talk about the people in the pews, conversations that I've had with St. Vincent de Paul ministries that are starting to pilot this kind of idea. They're realizing that they've never really invited perhaps healthcare workers, retired nurses, people with medical experience to be part of their ministry, if nothing else, to offer support through their talents and experiences in a particular profession. And quite possibly to, offer actual services if that's something that a parish volunteer could do through their kind of profession that they hold. Same goes for attorneys or graphic designers. Like, we need everybody. We need young people. We need older people. We need people that pray well. We need people that design, that are inventive. There was a quote that I came across as I was kind of researching St. Vincent de Paul Society. And St. Vincent de Paul is known for saying that charity is infinitely inventive. And boy, do we need that right now. We need to reinvent who we are as a pro-life people and open the doors wide to anyone that will help on a broad range of issues, not only the abortion issue. And so I think there's a wide appeal that can happen when we open up that creativity in our ministry work. And so, we're starting to see some of that happen. It's not, happening in full fruition right now, but I certainly see hearts are being opened, ears are being opened, and doors are being opened.
Yeah, I think my experience has been that any encounters that I've had with our youth, that they really want the authentic truth. They don't want us giving them watered down stuff. They want to hear the truth, and they're open to it if it's done in a compassionate, loving way. I also think that there's an eagerness to do natural things and not to buy into the culture. So the NFP thing, I think we have a perfect opportunity to really teach our young couples that this is the way to go. I mean, you're not putting pills in your body. You're not putting contraptions in your body. You're following God's plan, and it's so natural. It's so green, it's so dot to see, so I think those are opportunities for us. But again, I think that if we water it down for them, I think that we're missing the boat. I think they really want the authentic truth. I think our young engaged couples, we have an opportunity to work with them because some of them are just not formed. But if it's done in the right way, they can kind of be evangelized into the church. People that are having babies and they're bringing their kids to be baptized, another opportunity there. That we just need to really look for areas where we can pull them in an attractive way, in a way that's truthful and meaningful for them. And it's tough because we've lost a lot of our young people just because we just aren't creative enough. But I think that they want the truth, and I think that's an important point.
Thanks for watching. For more information on the resources Jen and Rachel discussed today, please visit the New Jersey Catholic Conference website at njcatholic.org and click on the Help for Moms tab, which can be found in the top navigation bar. And be sure to stay tuned for part 3 of this video series, when Jen and Rachel will discuss some personal stories about their work in the Respect Life ministry. Thanks again.